OpenClaw, an open-source autonomous AI agent that went from a side project called ClawdBot to the fastest-growing GitHub repo in months, is having its ChatGPT moment, and it's making investors, executives, and security teams uneasy about how quickly frontier AI is commoditizing. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang told the GTC 2026 crowd that OpenClaw is definitely the next ChatGPT, framing it as the milestone that moves AI from chat to action. The framework lets an LLM read and write files, browse the web, run shell commands, hit APIs, and complete multi-step tasks from messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Slack, essentially a programmable digital worker that runs locally and can be extended with 100-plus skills. It passed 100,000 GitHub stars in February, and Huang claimed it reached adoption levels in weeks that took Linux decades. The surge has a real market impact. After Huang's comments, Chinese AI-linked stocks rallied sharply, some up more than 20% in weeks, as companies from Tencent and Alibaba to startups like Moonshot and MiniMax rolled out their own tweaked OpenClaw builds. Analysts described it as a signal that agentic AI could become the next dominant paradigm, with monetization shifting from answering questions to executing transactions, booking rides, ordering food, managing schedules, and embedding agents into consumer ecosystems. But the very thing that made OpenClaw viral, its unhinged, boundary-pushing design, also exposed why models alone may no longer be a moat. OpenClaw is free, runs locally, and can be cloned, forked, and repackaged. That has led to copycats on smartphones, cloud providers offering one-click VMs, and local governments in China subsidizing projects. In other words, the capability is spreading faster than any single vendor can control, and the base model is becoming a commodity input rather than a differentiated product. Coverage from InvestorPlace and Zacks explicitly ties OpenClaw to the idea that the industry is shifting from conversational LLMs to tool-using agents, with the implication that value will accrue to infrastructure, distribution, and safety layers rather than the raw model. The commoditization worry is sharpened by security. Because OpenClaw can access sensitive files, execute code, and communicate externally, it's been called a security nightmare by analysts. Early deployments saw agents deleting inboxes, leaking API keys, and exposing private data. Gartner and Cisco analysts flagged its insecure by default design. Chinese authorities have warned state-run enterprises and banks not to install it on office or personal devices, and are demanding declarations and removals, concerned about data exfiltration and loss of control as adoption spreads like a cult. Big labs are responding by trying to productize the chaos. OpenAI hired OpenClaw creator Peter Steinberger. Sam Altman said he'll drive the next generation of personal agents, and is sponsoring the project as it moves to an independent foundation. NVIDIA announced NemoClaw, an enterprise-grade stack that layers auditing, role-based access control, and a sandboxed runtime. OpenShell, on top of OpenClaw so IT can deploy agents with guardrails. The subtext: the raw agent framework is open and replicable. The defensible piece is the secure, compliant platform around it.